Welcome to Underkill TV here in Cardiff in Wales, joined by the girls from Tequila and Byrd. Long time no see. How are you doing, girls? Good to see you.
Not too shabby. How you doing?
All good, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good. Been a while.
I think the last time I saw you girls was in Southampton, but the last time you were on Underkill TV was out in Ibiza, wasn't it? So what have you been up to since then?
I've just been on holiday, haven't we? Just chilling, you know, feet up. Nah, we've been pretty busy all over Europe and the UK. Had a short break, and now we're back out there with the treatment and air race for the next week or so. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
And these bands as well, they're sort of not a million miles from your sort of sound, so it is like a night of rock and roll, isn't it? A proper classic rock and roll, and it must be great to open for these bands because they're both really good bands.
Yeah, I think like the first time I came across treatment was when we played Wildfire last year, and they're awesome. Even though they're from the UK, like I wasn't so familiar, but a lot of my friends back home actually knew of them, and when they found out we were doing this tour, they were like, that's awesome, that's a really good lineup, like your music's going to match really well. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good couple of weeks, definitely.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I love 70s and 80s rock, and so do the boys, and air race, and well, I'm from Australia, so I like AC/DC, and they all have a heavy AC/DC influence. So for me, it'll be heaps of fun. It'll be a really good time.
And one thing I wanted to touch base on, since Ibiza, I think it was like a couple of days after you played Ibiza, wasn't it? You had like some bad news, and then you had some amazing sort of humbling news with the fans. Tell some of the viewers what actually happened a couple of days after the Hard Rock Hell Ibiza.
So I think it was 4 days into a 40-day tour. Our van was broken into in Barcelona and pretty much ransacked, and most of our back line was nicked, and then obviously a lot of damage to the van. So that wasn't the best start to the tour, but from that came just an absolutely amazing show of support from the people of Spain, from the people of the UK, Australia, all over the world, rallied together and raised over £6,000 in 48 hours to replace the gear and help us repair the van. So, I mean, talk about a roller coaster of emotions, like from waking up that morning and seeing the van in pieces to then 48 hours later just being flooded with messages of support and assistance. So yeah, everyone, thank you to everybody who helped us, lent us gear, sent us a message of encouragement, or donated their hard-earned cash. Like, we literally couldn't have continued the tour without it. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. And I guess something like that, especially as it happened so early in the tour, something like that will probably bring you together and make you stronger as well. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone has different reactions to things, you know, and then you're always looking back at your previous actions, what you could have done, what you couldn't have done, what you could have changed, what you know could have planned better or whatever. But actually, ultimately, just comes down to how you handle the situation and how you're there for each other as a support network. Which all three of us seem to be really good at supporting everyone in the band. So it was really good. Like even though we had our down times, we had our up times as well. It made us stronger as a unit and made us realise that pretty much if we could live through that, we could probably live through anything now. Like, you know, not that we want any more of this to happen, but yeah, I think it's made us a lot stronger. We're a much stronger unit now than we were, I think.
Well, yeah. I think with a situation like that, all you can really do is just, right, this has happened. How can we all together get ourselves out of this situation or improve the situation? Yeah, so in a situation like that, you have to all bond together and help each other, because if you're all going to go off one way and this person's going to do this, that person's going to do that, it's not going to do anything. And with something like that, it all affects everyone differently. So the best thing is to just become a unit in that kind of circumstance.
And I remember you saying, because you're saying about affecting people individually, like you had a bass that was sentimental to you, that got taken, like, and yeah, it must be a tough time, but as you say, it must be an amazing feeling to see that support come flooding through for you guys. One thing I wanted to ask as well, get on, is you had the single out, your summer single, Joyride. What's the plans for is there any plans for the album or another single or anything like that, Joe?
Yes, we had a new single drop today, Pretty Picture. So that is out today. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, all of them. So yeah, that's out, and yeah, we're Still working on album release plans, but it's looking like next year at this point. You know how these things often take longer than you think they will, and you've got to get it right. So yeah, it's looking like next year at this point. But we're dropping a few singles in the meantime to you know, keep people occupied.
That's a good idea as well, because as you said, it keeps people interested in the band, and it shows that the band haven't gone away, and you know, it keeps everybody interested throughout the time, because we're not that far away from being into 2019 now. You know, we're getting into the winter period now as well, so
Time just goes so quickly. Like this tour, even like September just seemed like a lifetime away, and suddenly here we are. It's nuts. So yeah, it will be here before you know it.
And is there any plans then next year? Have you got anything in the pipeline already, sort of building up for next year? Any festivals or anything sort of lined up?
Yeah, we've got a few things in the pipeline. I'm not quite sure what's been announced yet, so I won't specify. Yeah, but yeah, it looks looking to be a busy summer again next year. Put it that way. So, yeah.
Anybody that wants to keep up to date with Tequila Mockingbird, like the Facebook, follow them on Twitter, and you can keep up to date with pretty much everything on there, I guess. Yeah.
We share a lot, probably overshare, some would say, especially on Instagram.
I think in this day and age you do need to be, because I mean from experience you're all pretty interactive with all of your fans on social media, aren't you? You know, so you need to be in this day and age. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Like, you want to keep the content flowing. You want to keep people interested. So, yeah. But I think we're quite good at like posting when we feel like there's a need for it as well, like, and not over posting, because I think sometimes if you over post, I've seen it on other things, you know, it gets a bit boring. But luckily these two are very, very good at their social media. So they usually just mock up a post. They're like, "What do you think?" And I take a look at it, and I'm like, "Yeah, cool, do it. It seems good to me." And then they throw it up, and then suddenly there's like 200 likes on it. So so we can't be doing that much wrong with that. So that looks good to me. And yeah, it is important, as you say. It's a really valid tool for bands and anything really, marketing, promotion, any business that's, you know, selling something, got a product. It's yeah, the most important. So I definitely agree. What would you reckon?
Well, we're talking about businesses or social media. Which direction do you want me to go to? So right. So with yeah. Well, the thing is, it's been said, but as you said, we're quite interactive with fans. Well, the thing is, once people add you and you accept people, you have to be. You can't just be like, "Oh, you were that person once, see you later." And the thing is, so many of the fans have been so helpful. Again, with Barcelona and all that. So the little thing of just showing a slight interaction, even communicating, some of these fans have become quite close with. And so it's a pleasure to have people on our Facebook, and just the only difference is we've had to alter our personal content a bit, make it more public friendly.
We are so lucky in this day and age that we can have that kind of interaction, because back in the day, I think, you know, yeah, there might have been more money in music and stuff, but basically, if you didn't have a record label, there was no way really for you to get your music out to the people. So you're so lucky nowadays that you don't have to be signed to build a fan base, and to literally put your stuff out to the world how you want it, when you want it, and, you know, let the world decide whether or not they want to hear more of it, rather than some record company executives. So I think we're super, super lucky to be living in the age we're living in.
And just even the fact with this whole sort of social media thing, it could go two ways. It could have been where you have the social media and you do things a certain way, just people aren't interested. Whereas one thing with how social media's evolved, and even with the content that we post, we've noticed fans and just people in general have been quite attentive. So that's quite helpful as well when putting things out, because then you can gauge how people respond to things and when to put things out. So it works sort of both ways. So it's good for them because we get to interact with them, but it's good also for us because we also get to interact and see how people respond to different media that we put out, and just different things in general.
Excellent stuff. And just touching base back on the album again, then, have you got any names for a title yet, or is it still it's under wraps, but it's all
Dirty shoes and broken tables.
A variation on that theme. Yeah, now
Something along those
we do have a title, but again, until we make the official announcement, we have to zip it. Sorry. Yep.
Well, girls, I know you're going to be sound checking very, very shortly, so I do appreciate the time for you taking the time out to chat with us on Underkill TV. Those that haven't checked the band out, as I say again, give them a like on Facebook, give them a follow on Twitter, stay tuned for the new album, which is going to be out next year, and even check out the new single, which is out today, or it'll be out a couple of days ago by the time this goes out, so it'll be out yesterday or the day before. So this is Alistair from Underkill TV signing out with the girls from Tequila Mockingbird. Thanks, girls. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, Alistair. Thank you.
Cheers.